Okay, so the noise reduction has been applied. And if you're wondering, like, what step am I on once you start doing the signal flow, you can always go back up to your edit um, menu on your menu bar. Click on that and notice it says undo, and that says undo noise reduction. That lets you know that was the last step you did, was the noise reduction. So sometimes if you're doing this and you're doing it a lot, you might forget what step you're on. If that's the case, go up here and look at your undo, and it will tell you the last step that you did. So, all right, so we're finished with the noise reduction, and on this end, it sounds a lot better. I know you can't hear the static that I was hearing. Even if the static seems like it's minimum on your computer, just remember that when someone's listening on their iPhone or in their car or on their stereo, the things we're doing, it's going to actually make it sound so much better for the listener. A lot of times it might sound one way on your computer, but then you listen in your car or somewhere else and you can really hear the static or what have you if it's not been handled during this audio um, enhancement and this signal flow process that we're doing. So I'm going to go back to this signal flow here. I've done noise reduction. Now I'm going to do the high pass filter. So this right here, I've got my settings already written down for my reference, but I'm going to show you what we're doing. With high pass filter, I need to first off select all the audio. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Zooming out some just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to select all of the audio by hitting Command A, and it could be Control A for you. Once that's selected, I'm going to hit Effect, and I'm going to find where it says High Pass Filter on the effects here on Audacity. I'm going to click that. It says 120 and 48. So 120 is the frequency, roll off is 48. In my other example, it says 240 and 48. That's something else that I work on that requires sometimes for me to use 240. Most of my projects I use 120. And you can go to, once you have it set, you can always hit Manage and you can save a preset and call it something. And then later you just go to your user presets, and I'm going to go to Baptist Perspective. It's 120 on the frequency and the roll off is 48. I'm going to click on OK. And it's going to apply this high pass filter. If you want to learn more about what a high pass filter is, those kind of things, feel free to Google search and do some reading on that. So that's finished. Bass and treble is next. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Effect, go to Bass and Treble. And again, I'm going to go to Manage, User Presets, Baptist Perspective, which is already what I had on there is 8 on the bass, 4 on treble, and on volume, -4. I'm going to hit Apply. This one doesn't just go away whenever you finish applying it. You have to actually hit Close. And again, it's already applied it, but if you're not sure, you can always go back up to Edit and see where it says Undo Bass and Treble. That means, again, you've already applied that. You've already done that step. All right, again, it's important that you have everything highlighted or selected whenever you're doing each one of these steps. So I'm going to go back to, I've already finished bass and treble, the compressor. Okay, so I'm going to click on Effect, go down to Compressor. The settings that I use, I can always go back to my user preset Baptist Perspective. So if you have different projects, you can save different settings for different projects. But on the threshold, I use -36, noise floor, -40, ratio 2.5 or 2.5 to 1, attack time 1 second, release time 3 seconds, and I'm going to make sure this is ticked right here where it says makeup gain for 0 decibels after compressing. I'm going to hit OK. Again, make sure everything is selected whenever you do this. It's going to apply the compressor. Your computer may be a little faster than mine. This is an old machine that I'm using, but it's applying this, and boom, look at that audio, how it's looking different. Wow. All right. It's gonna sound better too, by the way. You can one thing I'm not doing because I'm limited on time is listening to it after each step. I've got just a little bit of time left on this recording. I'm going to go down to where it says limiter, and I've already got it highlighted. I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to create a different video to talk about limiter before I demonstrate it. So I'm going to hit stop here, and I'll see you on the next video.